Rahim, in the name of Allah, the Almighty, the most gracious, the most merciful. Respected speakers of the night and all of our guests tonight. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. May peace, mercy and blessings of the Almighty be upon all of us tonight. I can see the happy faces. Once Taqir said this is going to be the last speech. So at last, by the way, it's not a speech, it's just a short vote of thanks. First of all, I definitely want to recognize and thank each one of our guests tonight, men, women, scholars, our community leaders, politicians, kids, all of us. I think you all have made this evening really special for all of us. And when I say it, I really mean it from the bottom of my heart, that we really feel that our Eid is truly complete today by sitting with all of you, by sharing a meal, by sharing our thoughts, by showing our respect to each other, and we really are thankful to all of you. Secondly, I also want to call out all our impressive women speakers and community leaders that we have tonight. In fact, we have had an opportunity to have an overwhelming and the majority of our women speakers. As I was entering in a couple of hours back into the hall, one of my best mates, he told me, look mate, I know you're not a great speaker, but I'm happy you'll be on the dais for a few minutes. I said, why so? He said, I'm happy that you'll be at least adding your contribution to the gender balance on the panel today. So I'm really happy. But on a serious note, I think to see our community leaders right from the local government, Councillor Natalie, the Mayor, Liana Buchanan, the Commissioner, Samantha Ratnam, our leader in the Victorian Parliament, and last of all, to have Maria Wambakino to join us and honor us this evening. It's a real matter of pride. I am a father of 3 daughters myself, and I'm sure we have a lot of young girls in this room. I really feel happy and proud for all of them to have the opportunity to look up to such inspiring women leadership, leading our communities and growing up and living in Melbourne. So a round of applause to all of them for helping us today. Secondly and most importantly, I also want to call out our religious scholars and our community leaders and youth leaders that have joined us. And it really shows their magnanimity, their depth of thinking, their understanding of the scripture, and reflecting their true leadership in terms of making time. I'm sure they have other obligations and religious duties and other institutional commitments. So we really want to show our deep respects and thanks to all of our religious leaders and our community leaders tonight. Thank you, Brother Larry Marshall. Thank you so much, Sheikh Abdullah Elisi. And really, thank you so much, Reverend Kote, Satyendriya Thiro. We are honored to have you. I think we all know that we are living in troubled times. We are living at vulnerable times. And more often than not, we see that religion quickly turns a color of extremism, which fuels hate and which leads into violence and bloodshed. By having community leaders and our theologians and learned scholars amongst us, it gives us a true hope that we have got leadership with us who can lead the communities across all faiths, who could use the true scripture and faith as an opportunity to bond us on our common bonds of humanity and to emphasize and to remind us that we all have a shared future on this planet of the earth. None of us are going to get anywhere out of this place. I heard that they are looking for something on Mars or Moon. I don't know about it. And we also don't know, we can't get each other ahead of each other anyway in terms of getting into this vicious cycle of violence. So we really thank for your leadership, thanks for your leadership here. And at this opportunity, I know we have had references to Christchurch, we had references to the Sri Lankan attacks. So we want to take this opportunity while we have this solemn gathering to remember all the lost lives, be it in Christchurch, our brothers and sisters and the youngsters and the innocent lives that was lost in Sri Lanka, or some of the attacks that have happened on our own armed forces back in India as well, and anywhere else where injustice prevails. We remember all those victims in our prayers, and we hope that such gatherings no matter how small, no matter how, how far away they are in between, it still will help our community to move towards a more balanced and a just society. And finally, I would like to call upon a lot of other organizations here. We have Victoria Police in the room, so thank you, Senior Sergeant McMaloney. Thank you, Ash Dikshit, Senior Sergeant, for supporting us, for being with us today. We have got Sergeant Nick Swiney as well with his family from the Metropolitan Fire Brigade. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We have got a lot of other community leaders, a lot of our like-minded sister organizations. We have Brother Khaisar from IFAM, Islamic Forum for Australian Muslims. We have Brother Shafar from Australian Malayali Islami Association. We have Brother Alavi from Australian Islamic Mission. We have Dr. Irene and Mr. Suryan from ECCV, Ethnic Communities Council of Victoria. And I'm sure I'm leaving out a few names here as well, so I beg your pardon if I have. But we have got a number of our community organizations with similar motivation to support us to make our communities further stronger. And lastly, I want to thank two groups or two individuals. One is our kids. So it was really emotional for me to witness, because I can't, and I'm ashamed of this, I can't spell a word in Yavuru or any other indigenous language myself. So I think it's a good reminder for me and resolve to go and at least learn some words or a few lines at least to as a mark of our respect to our indigenous people here. So thanks to the kids, they have been preparing for a long time. Thanks to those who are training them, disciplining them, and thanks to their parents and all of them. And lastly, our MC, can you please have a round of applause?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You.
So Brother Tawqir, as he said, he's newly married, he's a new arrival to Australia, a lot of new things, first time being MC for us, but looks like he's done well. So thank you, Tawqir. Thanks to all the volunteers, thanks to your families, thanks to everybody who's been here, thanks to the folks who are serving us some delicious food, and our apologies if we took a few minutes extra before the food can arrive you, and Eid Mubarak to all of you. Assalamu alaikum.